Second topic in the November was in the news called drought. How the November came into so the topic was in the news called South Asian Drought Monitoring System, SADMS. Means the first time the one for entire South Asia drought monitoring system was being developed is a joint initiative by the International Water Management Institute and the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. What is that tool? It's a new satellite-based tool for monitoring, assessing the drought condition in the South Asian region, especially at the level of its severity there. So it can measure up to this district or taluka level in future. So this SDM in South Asian drought monitoring system already been tested in the SARC countries. So how many SARC countries are there? 8 SARC countries, means South Asian regional cooperation. Okay, South Asian regional cooperation. So South Asian Association. So what are the 8 countries of SARC? Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives. Isn't it not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are the 8 SARC countries. Please remember all these 8 SARC countries who was taking the help of this drought management tool. So what is South Asian drought management system is? It's developed some basics on this. This system was developed by International Water Management Institute and Indian Council of Agricultural Research, tested in all 8 countries of SARC, validated at which level? District level. So this system of SDMS is to monitor the drought condition in South Asia. So it provides the real-time data related to drought using the information given by the IMD on real-time weather updates and open access satellite data too. SADMs provide information to farmers for agriculture sector, water resource authorities. So this information will be used by the farming communities and the water resource managers to forecast, monitor, and manage the drought on weekly basis. So data inputs are provided to this system through IMD and Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. IMD means Indian Meteorological Department. In IITM means Indian Institute of Tropical Management. So the Indian Institute of Tropical Management is where? Is at Pune actually, meteorology. This is at Pune. So this also not only using the data based on the parameters on the ground, like what are the parameters on the ground captured by satellites and delivered to the satellites to IMD and IITM. Soil moisture, precipitation, temperature, wind, speed, available of what? Cloud ratio, as well as historical what? Drought conditions. So now, Bacho, so why drought in India or in South Asian regions are more, and what is the condition here? If you are observing India and the South Asian region, so here the severity of drought is heavily affected all these SAARC countries. The reason is as for the estimate given by the UN, latest drought assessment report released in the May 11, 2022, that also talked about South Asian countries are severely affected by climate change and the drought condition. In particular, in India, 2/3 of India has been affected by what called drought. It's during 2020, 22, these 2 years, last 2 years. Severe drought has reduced, even though because of South Asian countries is again and again affected by the drought, and the area and intensity, frequency of the drought in the South Asian countries are increasing, which adversely affecting what? The GDP, the economic condition. So economic loss is been observed from last 20 years is that per year around 2.5%. If the drought management is proper, we can even save so much of money. Not only India, but the whole South Asia face severe drought So the last 50 major droughts have been reported since 1990. It's been from South Asia, and 750 million peoples of South Asia is been affected because of drought conditions, and having an economic loss of around 7 billion rupees. So much impact. So now, what are the types of droughts generally from a basics point of view? Droughts are of four main types: meteorological drought, agricultural drought, and what called hydrological and ecological. Meteorological drought occurs whenever there is a failure of what? Monsoon in the South Asian environment. So how this monsoon rain fail? Okay, failure of monsoonal rainfall, especially southwest monsoon get fail. So and agriculture drought is when, so in spite of monsoon fail, if you have irrigation infrastructure ready, storage ready, then you can supply the water to the farm sectors and the crop could be grown. If that also get failed, then meteorological drought is translating into which drought, which is called agricultural drought. So agricultural drought is a situation of what? Failure of crops, okay, or failure of agricultural system. Cropping season get failed. So as a result, food security and rest of the other issues arise. So what is hydrological drought? In spite of rain, uh, water is not able to percolate down. Okay, so the soil moisture is not drained much, does not have the proper moisture. So in those areas where drainage system is poor, percolation of water, storage of surface water is not there, infiltration of water is not there because of terrain, topography, rocky structure. That is called hydrological drought. Means less infiltration, less what? Infiltration of water. So like the dry soils have been produced because of hydrological drought, because of poor drainage system, because of poor what called drainage conditions are existing in that area. So now, so when all these conditions are overlapping, like failure of monsoons, failure of crops, or even hydrological condition, drainage systems getting failed, so then the ecosystem getting degraded. So degradation of ecosystem started with the loss of water bodies, loss of what? Loss of water bodies, or even loss of species. When all these are happening, ecological viabilities and the capacities are what? Reducing. So that kind of situation called ecological drought. So this is setting up a situation of desertification in area. That means expansion of desert-like condition, which resulting in degradation of ecosystem called ecological drought. So one drought may be translated into the next drought. So what are the major reasons for drought occurrence in South Asia? So we have to look into two, three factors. One, why the meteorological droughts take place. So it's nothing but failure of South Asian monsoon. It's the climatic reasons or environmental reasons. So what are the climatic factors that can reduce the southwest monsoonal rain in India? So El Nino effect. Whenever El Nino is there, so that kind of situation. What is El Nino? You already know, when these in the Pacific Ocean to around the South America, there is a warm current called El Nino current arise, and it is expanding, entering from that towards the central part of Pacific. That kind of situation called El Nino effect. Warm waters on South American coast of Pacific. That is called El Nino current. So El Nino current reduces the monsoonal rain. Another effect over the Indian Ocean, like whenever the Indian Ocean, uh, and Bay of Bengal Arabian Sea waters are observed, they have a seesaw effect. And that seesaw effect is called what? Indian Ocean Dipole mechanism. When these Indian Ocean, like Bay of Bengal waters are less warm or less cool. So this is a situation. Negative IOD. Negative IOD means the Bay of Bengal waters are relatively more warmer and these Arabian Sea waters is cooler. That kind of situation is called what? Negative IOD. Please understand what is negative IOD. Negative IOD means Arabian Sea waters are what? More cooler than the usual situation than the Bay of Bengal. And as a result of that, your southwest monsoon get weaker because of cooler Arabian Sea water. What does it mean? Less cloud formation and less pushing of this cloud by southwest monsoon towards India. So the western part of India or the Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon become very, very weak actually during the negative IOD. So that is also the in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Gujarat, and central India. There's a drought occurs. The reason is what? Negative IOD mechanism. Now, so number of rainy days and the frequency of rainy days or even the breaks in the rainy season is explained by what called MGO effect, means maiden Julian oscillation. When this MGO effect is weak, the frequency and intensity of the cloud formation over these Indian Ocean will be less and the gaps will be more during the weak MGO effect. So this may weaken the southwest monsoon too. Even the colder Somalian current also reduces what? The cloud formation and the in southwest monsoonal rain. Even the less snow cover in the Himalayan Tibetan zone uh, is less reduced. Like during the summers, what happened? Himalayan Tibetan zone third pole, the snow cover get reduced. Now, what happened if in the Himalayan Tibetan zone third pole, the amount of snow cover is less reduced. As a result of that, pressure is not getting lower there. So low pressure over Himalayan Tibetan zone is not intensified because of presence of what? Snow here. So that also weaken the southwest monsoon too. And because of that tropical easterly jet stream, development over the middle of India, which is moving from east to west, is also become what? Weaker. So strong effect of what? Of westerly jet stream. Because why the tropical easterly jet stream is weak? Still, there is a presence of westerly jet stream over India. So the strong westerly jet stream, weak tropical easterly jet stream, less reduction of what? Snow over Himalayan Tibetan zone. All the factors are responsible for what? Reduction of southwest monsoon. Even the what is happening, this western part of India is close to the West Asia. So the West Asia is having a subtropical high pressure subsidence area, and that has been extended towards South Asia too. That means expansion of subtropical high pressure or anticyclonic condition from West Asia towards what? South Asia. So as a result, drought or desertification has been spreading towards South Asia more and more. All these reasons climatically is responsible for weakening or failures of the Asian monsoon. These are climatic reasons. Another reasons, bacho, why in spite of monsoon failure, why the crop get failed? So reasons are agriculturally, we need a soil moisture or the irrigation facilities, and these are not much available in South Asian countries. So non-availability of irrigation facilities. Okay, especially and a lot of water irrigation facilities are there. That is a canal irrigation or well or tube well irrigation. That's wastage of water is a lot in that case. And so large amount of area remain rain fed because of that, depending on the monsoonal rain only. So the agriculture in the South Asian countries mainly done on the dependence of what? Rain. That's called rain-fed farming is more. Even in spite of rain-fed area, the farmers are making what? Wrong choices for the crop. They are using high-yielding varieties of what? Seeds using that need what? Fertilizers that need more water and water is not available. So that resulting into failure of crops actually. Wastage of water resources also been reported. So because of all these factors, agriculture drought is being caused. Agriculture drought might be also been caused by the pest or insect attack, apart from the rainfall situation. So, remember the 2020, like the locust, desert locust pest attack from these Iran or these African Horn of Africa towards Iran, then Pakistan towards India. So in the 2020, so it's a pest attack. There's also agriculture drought possible. So even this Iran and the Pakistan declared pest attack as the national emergencies actually. when the hydrological drought took place, when the surface runoff is very, very fast, less infiltration of water, soils become what? Dry. And why the soils become dry? Because of a natural region or man-made regions, the slopes are become steeper, so the infiltration is not there. Rocky surfaces are exposed. Okay, or that area, what is happening? Laterization is happening. Laterization is happening. Laterization means the laterite soils does not allow percolation, hard layer developed. So what are the drought prone areas in India? On general, around 10 lakh hectares of India has been affected by drought from severe to moderate level actually. So so we are dividing into different zones like zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. Okay, zone 1 is an extreme droughts over prone areas in here, which generally in the north west India, like around Thar Desert, like Rajasthan, Kutch, western part of Aravallis or south, Punjab, Kutch of Gujarat, extreme drought events took place. And in zone 2 is the severe drought prone areas lies in both central and southern India because of a rain shadow effect or continental effect. Okay, so the water from in India is entering from either from east coast or from west coast. When they try to enter into central India, so because of continental effect, amount of rain get reduced. Even these areas are surrounded by the mountains, so it become the part of rain shadow areas too. So the severe drought is taking place in central India too, as well as in the peninsular rain shadow India. Zone 3 is having a moderate drought conditions or prone areas, which is covering either zone 1 or covering what? Zone 2. So it is surrounding both zone 1 and zone 2, the zone 3, moderate drought prone. So what is the measures to reduce the adverse consequences caused by the drought? So the solution is timely forecasting the weather and monsoonal system. If farmers know when is a rain and when is not a rain, so they can plan their cropping seasons accordingly and choice of crops are accordingly done. Second method is like there should be a proper drought management system by each South Asian countries. India try to have their own system, and the SADM will be working first time for the whole South Asia pre, during, and post disaster drought activities could be done. So by the authorities. So weekly assessment has to be done on the climate, cloud cover, rainfall, soil moisture at district and taluka level. And crop insurance should be there both for Rabi and what called Kharif crops. So as a result, whenever the crops get failed, so that the cost will be recovered by the insurance money actually. So Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, guys, you go through it. That's the one. Even the private players would be involved in this. Focused on drought resistant crops, like those areas are frequently affected by drought, or the district has already been affected or declared by the SDM or other systems. So what the farmer has to choose what drought resistant crops, especially millets, pulses, and what oil seeds, jatropha plantation for biofuels if it is a barren or bad quality of land is there. That is the another method. So another extension of irrigation facilities into the rain-fed areas by using micro irrigation. Already under the Pradhan Mantri Fasal, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, 5,000 crores rupees is invested by the central government for 5 years period for extension of micro irrigation. So what is micro irrigation? Sprinkler irrigation and what, Bachu? The sprinkler irrigation, okay, and another is what called? What is the another irrigation? Drip irrigation. That has to be extended in the rain-fed area. So the cost will be less and the usage of the water will be what? Less actually. Save the water and extend it. Even extension of watershed, what? Management. So watershed management practices try to store the rainwater and harvest in the rest of the and usage in the rest of the year. So recharging water bodies, ground, surface, harvesting tools are being used. So Rajasthan is and Madhya Pradesh and these peninsular India is using. So even traditional water bodies should be what be maintained actually. So what usage of sustainable farming method that try to work on conservation of soil moisture.